Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate right now our Gemini Gem football analyst. This analyst is going to take a look at opponent offenses. And I created this because a lot of coaches come from schools that use the Google ecosystem and they get free access to Gemini with a pro account. So if you order to get access to this, you can get my AI resource for defensive coordinators, which I'm going to link down below. I also have the AI resource for offense coordinators, which also has a Gemini gem to analyze opponent defenses. But now we're going to look at offenses, and I'm going to say, please run a scouting report on this team. And what I've done is I have created a knowledge base and training for this Gemini gem to know what information it should be looking at and then how it should present that data. And then you have the option to go through and it's going to give us an overview and then we can ask it questions. If you are not using AI, you are missing out. So you can see with this team, we've got 253 plays in this data set. They're just about 62% run, 37% or 38% pass. And we can look at their concepts and see what they do most. And then I can come down here and now I get a look at personnel and how many times they were in each personnel group, what percentage of their offense that was, and then what their run pass percentage is from each of those personnel groups. And then as I go down a little bit further, now I can see what formations they run, their most used formations from each personnel group. We're going to get our field zone run pass percentages. And then we're going to get run pass percentage by hash. And then I go down, I get my P and 10 analysis. So there's 60% run, 40% pass, and what they run. And then whether they are a field or a boundary team, a little bit field, which, we find from most teams. And then we get some predictive insights. And I can now say, please list the play category from most to least, showing the count and percent of the total. And what we're doing right now is we're asking questions of the analyst, information that we want to see to help us be able to better prepare. And you can see 37% of their offense is inside gap run. All right. Inside zone run is 8%. Then we've got outside gap run, 5%. Quick game, a little bit of RPO. You can see they got some, 5 times they ran bash counter. So not a whole lot going on here after we get out of these top things. Now look, this gives us right here, let's just add these numbers up. 37% inside gap run, 31% drop back pass. So we're at 68%. We're going to get another, we'll call it 8% with inside zone. So we're at 76. And then outside gap run, what are we up to? We're over 80% of their offense right there. So this helps us be able to prepare for the week. Now, I can say list the most used off. Actually, we're going to say it this way. List off play from most to least with total and percent. And now, so we had our play category, which kind of helps us to be able to break things down. And we can see here slot fade and go flat. All right. Even though they're a run team, those are the two most called plays. And then you can see we get into these inside gap runs. All right. And then I can ask it how many plays by total number have counter in the name. So 23% of their plays have counter in the name. All right. So this helps us be able to prepare. Now I'm going to show you what's really cool here. Show me run pass percent by down and distance situation. Within each situation, show me the personnel group from most to least with run -%. And now what sometimes it'll do is show me the personnel group and then each down and distance situation. Here it did it right. So it gives us the down and distance situation. So 1st and 10. All right. They're 75% run. If they're an 11 personnel, all right, 12 personnel, 73%, but 10 personnel, it's 50-50. So this has just given us some intelligence to say, okay, look at if we just looked at run pass percentage by down and distance, that's good. But when we break it down further and we get into the personnel group, you can see it changes the numbers considerably. And we could ask it to go even further and do this by formation. And that helps us be able to have some checks in during the game. So you can see this is a really, really powerful tool. We could ask it then to go into field zone. If you enter possession in 10, show me run pass percent for possession in 10, which is in 10, yes, by field zone. So possession in 10 is the first play of a series. A 1st and 10 is an earned first down. So when we look at these P and 10 yeses, what happens? Well, now we start to see, okay, so when they're in the red zone, 100% run, 4-down territory, 80% run. When they're backed up or 3-down territory or coming out, they're a lot more balanced. So once they cross the 50-yard line, they're very run heavy. So you can see how this is going to help us be able to better know what our opponent's going to do. And how long did this take to get this information? And we can click to export this to Sheets. We can copy and paste it into Google Docs, keep all this within the Google ecosystem. Now, again, this is part of the Gemini Gem that I have built, created, and trained that is available in my AI resource for defensive coordinators. I also have an AI resource for offense coordinators, which has a Gemini Gem. The link is down below. There's a link, all right, in the description for you. So check out the link in the description and you can get access. If you are not, you can get access to my AI resource. It has a guide. It has access to these custom analysts for Gemini and also for ChatGPT. It gives you step-by-step, walks you through how to use different AI tools. And this gives you what you need to be able to get data fast and be able, look how fast this was. This saves you hours on the weekends. And I spent over a year working with coaches to build this and to go through and refine it and get it ready. And now it is ready for you to use to be able to start you're putting your scouting reports together for your opponents that you're going to be playing next year. And then it's going to save you a ton of time every single weekend. All right. We want to save you time and give you great information so you can win more football games and you can do so in a lot more efficient manner.